And gentlemen, herzlich willkommen, as they say here in Germany. We are in Dortmund in the Westfalenhalle. All is filling up quite nicely this evening. It's the third day of the group schedule, group stage. We see, going to see Germany versus Portugal in a few minutes. Here are some of the results of the day. Portugal in the lineup with Marcos Freitas, João Monteiro, Enio Mendes. Facing the German team consisting of Dimitrij Ovtcharov, Timo Boll and Bastian Steger. Players being introduced, Patrick Baum, also in the lineup, will not be playing this match. See Dimitrij Ovtcharov and of course Timo Boll. Crowd magnet here, fan favorite as well for sure in Dortmund at the 2012 Liebherr Team World Table Tennis Championships. German supporters are setting up their gear to cheer for their team against Portugal. Both teams to a good start in the group stage. This will be an easy game for me to commentate because I can spare half of the statistics. I'm very proud to have sitting with me Richard Brause, former German head national coach, now coach of the Werner Schlager Academy. Richard, thanks for joining me tonight.
My pleasure, Sebastian.
Richard, what do you think? Who's going to be the favorite here?
I think no doubt that Germany is here the favorite in the match against Portugal. Also, we have to really see that first two matches, Dimitrij Ovtcharov against Marcos Freitas and Timo Boll against João Monteiro, might be close matches. If I have good in mind, one of the last matches in Champions League, Dimitrij Ovtcharov lost against Marcos Freitas, who is recently playing for Pontoise in France. And João Monteiro is really always the one who's trying to have open games with Timo. Also, I think Timo is here finally the favorite, but for sure the first two games might be very, very interesting.
I think so as well. Especially it would be great to see if Timo Boll can keep up his rare form. He has yet to lose a game in this tournament. So far, good start for the German top player. He'll be playing João Monteiro in the second game. We'll see if he can keep it up. Umpires and referees are being introduced by the MC here in Dortmund. The German bench, no doubt, will try to lift Dimitrij Ovtcharov in his game wherever possible. We'll see. We have Sven Bender, German football player, VIP spectator here. In front, Dirk Schimmelpfennig, director of the German Table Tennis Association. Shake hands between Marcos Freitas and Dimitrij Ovtcharov. Marcos Freitas, player for the top seed player for Portugal in this match, 21 years of age. Currently ranked in the world ranking at 43. Highest rank was 32, just in November last year. Up-and-coming player, very talented, of course, from Portugal. Played himself in the stage of the last 64 in the Olympic Games in Beijing, 2008. Some good results recently. Player, no doubt, to be taken seriously by Dimitrij Ovtcharov.
Yeah. And Marcos Freitas is also known to play quite well himself against Dimitrij Ovtcharov. He's like a very sophisticated way, like a difficult way to play his table tennis. He's trying to avoid the fast topspins. He's a little bit more like to play the ball soft, a little bit more with extra spin. Also likes to play long rallies. And we will see Dimitrij Ovtcharov for sure is the one who hits harder, who can play faster. But Marcos Freitas is the one who can change the rhythm of game quite good, and he's able to cause quite some troubles for Dimitrij.
Head-to-head between Dimitrij Ovtcharov in the picture here. 23 years of age, world ranked in the top 10, seated at 10, which is also his highest ranking. Both players have met before on several occasions. This year, out of the last 3 games, Dimitrij Ovtcharov dropped one. The Champions League game, as you mentioned earlier, Richard. But he won on 2 occasions against Marcos Freitas. The Brazil Open 2011 and far back in the World Junior Championships 2005. Some 7 years ago.
Maybe also interesting to mention that both have been European junior champion, if I have right in mind. Also Marcos was long year living and practicing in Borussia Düsseldorf. And but then, okay, like after he switched to Germany, from Germany to France, he really made some big progress there. He was playing after Düsseldorf a little bit in Ochsenhausen 1 or 2 years, and now in Pontoise. He really came up higher in the world ranking. Meanwhile, really a very, very decent and stable player.
He is. As you said, he has improved over the last years. And will no doubt bring his top performance here against Dimitrij Ovtcharov, who is supported by the crowd in Germany, of course, by the bench as well. We see here Patrick Baum, Christian Süß, in the background, Bastian Steger and the German coach Jörg Roskopf. Marcos Freitas to serve here. First game, level. That service. Most of the times players see this before the umpires. Good start here. Freitas bringing both of his services through. Great third ball attack here by the young Portuguese player. Excellent return as well. Ovtcharov with his forehand serve. If I'm not mistaken, very recent invention in his game.
Usually Dimitrij Ovtcharov prefers the backhand service. He's quite famous for that. I think this backhand service was also voted in one newspaper as a big invention of the year. I think even was the Time, if I have right in mind.
It was Time magazine, right?
General tactique of Marcos Freitas is there. Usually he has changed the service against Dimitrij Ovtcharov here, because usually Marcos can also play service a little bit more side spin, up spin, or side spin, down spin. Here he's serving more often straight in order to avoid the backhand flip of Dimitrij Ovtcharov. Maybe we see this also in the second service now.
We did. Great prediction, Richard Brause. 5-1, Marcos Freitas. Convincing start here in this first game. Ovtcharov still trying to find his rhythm. See how long it takes till he adapts to the service of his opponent. There we have it, trademark Ovtcharov backhand serve. First point in a rally for the German player.
But this is what I mentioned before. This is one of the specialities of Marcos. He's a little bit passive in the first 2 balls, but then he had the chance to come back with his backhand topspin. It was good that Dimitrij took care of this and finished the ball.
Great block. Reaction shot here, Marcos Freitas. Still building on his lead. Good topspin by Ovtcharov, but Freitas anticipated very well. The shot was coming into his body.
And out of the position after the service, it's sometimes not so easy for Dimitrij to change the position, everything he's playing cross. And that's too easy for Marcos Freitas sometimes.
Yep. Trademark Ovtcharov as well, playing backhand flick from the forehand side.
Still a little bit nervous start for Dimitrij so far.
It seems like more and more he's found his way into the match. Dimitrij Ovtcharov, 23 years old. Still a very young player.
Also now more than 4 years in the top 15.
Good topspin. Dimitrij Ovtcharov lifting the ball with a lot of topspin. Freitas tried to play counter topspin but underestimated the spin. Ball trails long. Great effort here. Dimitrij Ovtcharov almost sitting on the floor during that rally.
Yeah, and get really low with the legs. Quite athletic there.
Still misses the next one. Probably looked easier than it was.
Yeah. He didn't step carefully inside. The ball is stopping here. I saw that already in quite some matches, that the players really have to step inside the ball. You know, like in some holes, the ball is really a little bit slipping, coming out. Here in this hole, so far, the ball stops a little bit more. Sounds funny, but it's really a little bit different from hole to hole, from venue to venue.
7-5.
So something else you have to take into consideration. Different playing circumstances. Ball trajectory is slightly different. That one though, Ovtcharov was late.
So far not stepping carefully inside. It was the same thing happened before after this short return when he was really not coming to the ball, and now also a little bit hesitating there. He still has to find a little bit the rhythm there to get really inside the game.
Well, he better find it soon if he's to win the first game. 8-5, the lead of Marcos Freitas. Who is winning most of the longer rallies so far. Like you've predicted, Richard, looking to keep Ovtcharov in the game, keep the rally going.
Yeah, Marcus is not the most powerful player, but like he's quite some spin. It's difficult to control for the opponent.
Talking about power, that is also trademark Dimitrij Ovtcharov. Lightning fast, backhand topspin. Very short movement here. Excellently executed. Well-deserved point for the German. Still down 3 points though.
It's like a very good reaction. We had that before, this reaction in the backhand, but also the first ball, it's not so easy to win directly against Marcos Freitas. It's bringing back a little bit more than you expect. And now also Dimitrij was a little bit surprised in this way. He has to be ready for playing some more balls than only one. Bravo.
And the first of the 4 game points for Marcos Freitas is taken. He takes the first game off of Dimitrij Ovtcharov 11-6. Building up to a 1-0 lead now in the game. Good start for the Portuguese player.
Crucial moment was like 6-3, 6-5. Dimitrij came back, changing the service a little bit, and at 6-5 he decided again, for him, the service that he's not using that often, the regular forehand service, and it was no trouble for Marcus returning this service short. And then it came back 7-5 up till 11-6 for Marcos Freitas. I would start in Dimitrij position now to start with the backhand service in the beginning, because this was not so easy for Marcus to really take control. And also, I think you can feel a little bit Dimitrij is like not free in the game, a little bit thinking too much about his backhand, playing forehand too much, only cross. He has to change a little bit this rhythm in order to get back in the game.
Also his movement from left to right were quite good, but not from back and forth, especially forth to the table. Marcos Freitas on the other hand, played brilliantly so far. See if the second game we'll see him keeping up with his performance.
But bench seems to be quite relaxed still.
It's still only the first game, nothing's lost yet. But nevertheless, 1-0 Marcos Freitas. That looks more and more like Dimitrij Ovtcharov. Very energetic, active on the table, hitting the backhand early on the bounce. Play cross court, wide angle. Great performance.
Good one. Good one. This is one of the strengths of Dimitrij. Usually many European players, whenever you catch them in the backhand, they just put the ball back and have some placement and change of placement, but Dimitrij goes for the ball and he can even accelerate maybe even faster with backhand than with forehand.
Freitas taking the crucial point to stay in the game. 1-3. So far, better start for the crowd favorite here in Dortmund. That was a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Do I play cross court or along the line? Freitas chooses to play along the line, and Ovtcharov was there. Reaction block.
And that's also a little bit the 50-50 chance you mentioned. Usually Dimitrij is waiting in the backhand. He's ready if somebody's playing fast to his backhand.
Red. 4-1.
Good third ball attack, keeping the rallies short. I'm sure Jörg Roskopf has mentioned this during the break.
And one more thing to have an eye on, he keeps on doing this high top forehand service, and he found also better the rhythm inside. He's not switching to the backhand service, he stays with his forehand service.
Two 5. Can Freitas start a comeback here?
One thing Dimitrij has to be careful, not only in this match but also for the future. Now Marcos is playing short over forehand, and 80% of Dimi's next returns is long in the backhand. If somebody is ready for that, they can really attack Dimitrij there. This is one of his weak points still, if you can catch him twice short in the forehand side.
Album was probably a little over-eager. Marcos Freitas looking for the flick. A little impatient. Didn't want to give Ovtcharov the chance to get the first topspin in. Great service variation now from the German. Leading 7-3 in the second game. Showing us that he can serve good as well. Direct point with the service.
Nice one.
Rally. Excellent performance, both players here. Marcos Freitas from off court, far back. gets in 2 consecutive brutal backhand topspins, and Dimitrij Ovtcharov staying close to the table, hitting it early on the bounce, playing an angle that Freitas can't reach. Great stuff. At 8-4, 4-point comfortable lead here.
And I think he heard what you said in between the games, that he has to step in a little bit more, moving forwards, backwards. He did that brilliantly now.
That one again, going for the fast point, third ball attack. Trademark backhand shot. Marcos Freitas has yet to return one of those. Hard work of Dimitrij Ovtcharov in the second game, being awarded now 6 game points for him. This is the first one.
Net. 5-11.
11-5. Fault service by Marcos Freitas, awarding Dimitrij Ovtcharov with the second game of the match. He's finally found his way into it. Jörg Roskopf pointing him into the right direction. Very convincing victory here for the young German.
Yeah, and what I really liked about his game, he followed after his high tough forehand service, and he really changed the variation, the different spin. I mean, Marcos Freitas had really troubles in receiving, like 3 directly service and return mistakes by Marcos Freitas, and it's especially against left-hander who has, because of the different spin, more trouble with his high tough forehand service of Dimitrij than they will have with the backhand service. It's a very good technical idea to keep on going with his high tough service, just like he has to keep in mind not to forget the backhand, to have this variation, because it's still, as you mentioned, the trademark of Dimitrij Ovtcharov to keep on going with the backhand service.
Exactly. And while I have you here, Richard, I was always wondering how much of what you say to a player during a break sticks to the game. How much is he able to factor in his play? How much does he keep ignoring? You've obviously been in the situation, you've coached Ovtcharov before.
Yeah, like main thing is you do, the main part of the job is you do before the match starts. Inside, during the game, you have 1 or 2 advices, and this is if you really mention it and you stick to them, this also Dimitrij or also Timo will try to follow. But if you start to say, let's say, like the big story inside this 1 minute, they won't listen. Once or twice, and then that's it, and then this they try to keep up with. But every player also a little bit different. Like Timo just like to listen. Dimitrij likes to talk himself. Same for Christian Süß. And the main thing is for the coach is to really adapt a little bit according to what the player needs at this moment.
Interesting insight here offered by Richard Brause. Unbelievable. Marcos Freitas down and out of this rally. Ovtcharov playing 3 times far into the backhand side, bringing everything back, and went in for a backhand topspin himself.
It's like maybe Marcos Freitas can do that. We see this from time to time from Timo. We see this maybe from Kali Nikos Kreanga, but I think not many other Europeans can do like this.
Ovtcharov this time did not miss the opportunity to step to the table. 2 short steps and he was in. Correct timing on the backhand. Awarding him the tie in score. 2-all, 1-all in games.
The goal is really to finish the rallies early for Dimitrij. Whenever the rallies get longer and longer, then Marcos Freitas getting better and better inside the match. So really the goal, the target has to be to win first service, first attack. and not to get in these long topspin rallies. He's still from this forehand side. I mentioned it in the game before, twice in forehand short. He still doesn't find the right rhythm there. Whenever he can attack with forehand topspin or backhand topspin, whenever he has to step in the ball, everything is going in the right direction. But this 2 times short, he's missing too many. Also, I wonder why, especially against left-hander who can use the short forehand of Dimitrij, why he's not from time to time more often using the forehand also in order to return, not 95% backhand.
Question maybe Ovtcharov is the only one who has the answer to. Takes the next point though, is still in it. Down 1 point, 3-4. Great fighting spirit here, positive body language. Dimitrij Ovtcharov pushing himself, clenching his fist. Once again, trademark shot. Nearly 100% success rate, I would say, so far. A lot of spin on the ball, the way he moves his wrist during that topspin. Now Freitas staying close to the table in this one. Good block shot once again after Ovtcharov plays topspin into his body.
Both players have a little bit same way of reacting. On fast balls, if you push them too fast in the backhand, they're always there. Marcus was doing this twice. Dimitrij before in the second game was 4-1 once. Again, this is something I don't like. We mentioned that before, twice short in forehand. Dimitrij is always pushing long and backhand side, giving Freitas the possibility to attack on that ball. Doesn't matter with backhand or with forehand topspin. There's something maybe Dimitrij, after this short in forehand, should try to play long in the backhand, not in the backhand, but long in the forehand of Marcus, switching the timing a little bit.
The change of speed. Always important in these situations to keep playing creatively. Not playing one hard topspin after another, this time pulling his opponent back to the table.
And doing this half-long service to forehand side on purpose. We will see if he's trying that again, waiting on the soft topspin of Marcus.
He did. As he said, with his service giving Marcus Freitas the opportunity to attack first. He plays a soft topspin with a lot of spin. Ovtcharov is there, moving into the forehand topspin, putting pressure on his opponent. Expertly done, clenching his fist in delight. He is equalized now to 6-all in the third game. First match between Portugal and Germany. Exactly what Ovtcharov was waiting for. Push trail too high, misjudged the spin on the previous shot, and Ovtcharov was there punching it in with his backhand. Now he is leading.
He tried something new, play not like this ball long in backhand, but short in forehand. I think like a good tactical change, but Marcus was there, good flick. Still open this game, really open, and I think meanwhile also on tactical, on a very, very high level.
Rally of the match so far. Ovtcharov fighting for his point. Hard work pays off. 8-7. Look at the power.
And look at the legs. How is he jumping inside the ball? And it's really giving this extra speed in the ball.
That one paid off as well. Heading it very late on the front. Nevertheless, pulling it up with a lot of spin. Ovtcharov back on track in this match. 9-7 his lead. Service to his opponent.
And that's what we mentioned before. Whenever Dimitrij has the chance to play fast with the backhand, he is really nearly overpowering his opponent. Sometimes he's missing a little bit as here because he's putting the ball a little bit late with middle and forehand, because with forehand he's not that stable in comparison to the backhand. Arm is shaky a little bit. Sometimes we can see that in slow motion.
Good eye here from the head coach of the Austrian Werner Schlager Academy. Pointing out some flaws in the technique of Dimitrij Ovtcharov. He's now taking a timeout to break the momentum of Marcus Freitas.
He's the one in the German team who takes the timeout very, very early in comparison to many other players. And he likes to be a little bit more aggressive. Sometimes I saw him taking the timeout, for example, in the first game, if he feels this is unbelievably important. And it's also a sign there that he really feels he needs this 2-1 being up in order to keep the control inside the game. And when in the first years when I coached him, I was really also surprised how mature he was inside his ideas of table tennis, inside his mentality, how he's really preparing these kind of things.
Right, Ovtcharov known as a player who tends to even overthink. Has worked out so far in this third game though. Still 2 points shy of winning that. 8-9. Smallest of leads here for Dimitrij Ovtcharov, the service of Marcus Freitas. Once again missing the long push.
And once again from the same position. Marcus was expecting short return. Marcus is doing it another time short. And Dimitrij is again there with the backhand, long in the backhand of Marcus. This is something really I think he knows, Rossi knows, and we have been working before on that. But it's still something especially you feel some extra pressure, but it's not so easy to change.
Exactly, you fall back into a sort of safe game.
Of course.
The way you feel is safe. Not necessarily the correct decision. 9-0. Ovtcharov now screams out. He's pushed himself to a game point. Very crucial game here. Whoever comes out winning it will lead 2-1. First game point to Dimitrij Ovtcharov. And he takes it very convincingly. The return from Marcus Freitas exactly into the position that Ovtcharov wanted it to go. Was in with the backhand topspin.
Side spin, up spin. And he was kept on doing this side spin, up spin service. In the beginning, Marcus tried to let the ball drop, opening with forehand, where Dimitrij was waiting directly with the contra topspin. Later on, Marcus was using the backhand return, but always flicking and always giving Dimitrij the chance to attack directly with a very, very strong backhand topspin.
Like this one. Tension in the whole upper body. Dimitrij Ovtcharov using his arm, his wrist, and his shoulder for that one. It's the third game, 11-9, close one it was. Timeout used up now.
And it worked out.
It did. One remaining though for Marcus Freitas. Well, I must say, tactically, Freitas is not doing that much wrong. He just, in the in these tense moments, in these important big points, Ovtcharov always seems to have the upper hand.
Yeah, yeah. To my point of view also, the match is quite on high level. Marcos is doing good, missing some balls with the forehand, but so to the fact that Dimitrij is putting so much power, maybe it's something we have to expect. What I like from Marcos is that he's really having very good service and return after his own service, the straight service, avoiding the very famous backhand flip of Dimitrij Ovtcharov. And what I like from Dimitrij, that he keeps mentally very, very strong. 9-9, 2 very good balls, 11-9 win. That's mentally strong.
Absolutely focused on the game, concentrating on displaying positive body language as well. Something to consider. Negative body language, letting your shoulders hang down, complaining about your game, can lead to defeat. Not so for Dimitrij Ovtcharov. 2-0 in the fourth game, which could very well be the last one of this match if Ovtcharov keeps up his performance, his level of play. Wow. Freitas no slouch either.
But Freitas is expecting this. That's exactly what he's opening the ball always 2 times in forehand, and Dimitrij is doing like 85% either like easy ball short or long in the backhand. Usually this is something he will keep for sure if he's watching the video in mind next time, to just push maybe once in a while long in forehand side. Again, you see? Now he's missing. But this is exactly the tactical thing he has to keep in mind in order to change at least 1 out of 5, not to be too predictable.
Absolutely correct. Point for Ovtcharov, but tactically an opportunity for Freitas. Third ball attack though, and it seems the longer this game continues, the more lead Ovtcharov amounts on his side of the scoreboard. 4-1 now. That's almost comfortable. Forces a timeout by the Portuguese coach, Ricardo Faria. Words of advice. What would you, in his situation, advise Marcos Freitas?
To my point of view, he's playing too easy returns right now. He's always, Dimitrij is choosing this upspin service, and it's always a soft flip that Marcos is using. Maybe to change the system, just push once in a while long, just like having this opportunity, because it's always quite predictable what Marcos is playing in return. Because as you said before, after his service is playing okay. Just like now, Dimitrij has so much power and so many possibilities after his own service.
So once again, keep an open mind, keep playing creatively. Don't do the same thing more than 2 times. But with these kinds of services from Dimitrij Ovtcharov, once again, Freitas completely misjudging the spin. Played a return in which Ovtcharov could pounce. Crucial point after the timeout for the opponent. That was good play. Marcos Freitas now has a huge mountain to climb if he's to get back. 5 points, he's down. 1-6.
This time timeout didn't work in favor of the one who took the timeout.
Absolutely not. Once again, direct point with the service. Dimitrij Ovtcharov, 8-1. Now 9-1, and as far as predictions go, I think it is safe to say that this game will end shortly here.
Let.
Right, umpire reminding Marcos Freitas to throw the ball up, not towards him.
2-9.
A little bit misjudged. I think maybe in other venues would have been slipped out, you see. And now he has stopped a little bit. Ball is really pushing a little bit more short than usually the players are expecting this.
He shouldn't have missed that one. Marcos Freitas now with pretty avoidable mistakes here. Ovtcharov, nevertheless, 8 match points on his side. Wow. And this is what you said earlier, Richard. The level that Freitas can play on. It almost looked like a penhold player.
Yeah. And this was also a little bit hit and hope.
Was all in. Next one he misses, and Dimitrij Ovtcharov, very convincingly I must say, takes the first match of the game between Portugal and Germany to the amazement and to the cheers of his crowd here in Dortmund. Takes the game off of Marcos Freitas, 3-1. Congratulations, Dimitrij Ovtcharov. Excellent performance tactically as well as athletically. 6-11, 11-5, 11-9, 11-3 the score at the end. Confirmation on screen.
And this is how table tennis sometimes is going. I think also what you mentioned, good performance of Dimitrij. Also like 1-1, 9-9, this was like crucial point. Could have been also 2-1 for Dimitrij, 2-1 for Marcos in this moment. But I think mentally Dimitrij was there, very, very strong. Also not missing too many balls. Still some things he can adapt, but like World Championships, still some days to go. I think they will work on little things. But altogether, I think he can be happy with his performance today against Marcos and giving the German team a 1-0 lead.
Exactly right. Marcos Freitas, after all, was the outsider in this matchup, as well as the next